She called him conspice, as if it was some sort of playful insult. It was something to thwart his imagination, something to pull him back down, something to make him relent and release his opinions. The conversation went on, funny observations, heartfelt rapport, and borderline erotic suggestions. Both felt the line tighten between them, but he knew she had already tried to put him in his place. But to let this go right now would be both tragic and timely. It had been so long since either one of them had a conversation on the phone. It was almost nostalgic. On they went into the night, telling tales of the 80s from different sides of the world. So much the same and yet so much so different. Even without the internet back then, we still seemed so connected. It was a global vibe, something that sweeps through every generation without a word needing really to be said. The first bird song began on his side of the world, and they agreed to call it a virtual night. His schedule allowed him to sleep in. Hers, not so much. But there was still 8 hours of darkness ahead of her once they hung up. The rest of the conversation would surely be played out in the night and in daydreams. Later that night, he tried an online translator. Turns out, conspice is a fairly common slur directed at someone seen as a conspiracy theorist. But that same word in Latin means to look or stare or to catch the sight of something. Her tone implied he was crazy. But he took that as a compliment. And so as the day played out into another night, and his seemingly endless inner monologue, made of spirals of ill-defined comebacks and witty retorts, started to make less and less sense, he decided to switch tasks. And on this mental note to her, he said, "It's like they say, you do you, and I'll do me. But if fortune smiles upon you, I'll do you when I'm done doing me."